Hi, welcome back. Today is actually New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year to everyone. We are doing a vlog. These are two books that I picked out with extremely beautiful covers. I mean, look at these. So I'll be reading A History of Wild Places by Shea Earnshaw and Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. I'm sorry, that's gotta be the best title in book history. And it's by Olga Tokarczuk. I don't know that I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sure I'm not. Let me give you a quick synopsis of each book. A History of Wild Places is about a man named Travis. Travis is investigating the disappearance of this author named Maggie. There's also this sort of cult community called, Pastoral. It sounds like there's going to be a few different, maybe even point of views, because it says years later, Theo, he discovers Travis's abandoned truck. So then it's going to be how Theo, I don't really know how it's all going to work out, but there's obviously mystery. This is suspense. And I think the thing that really got me hooked on the idea of reading this was the cover. Obviously, I'm a judgy little bitch. But it says in the little blurb at the end of the synopsis on Goodreads, it says, History of Wild Places is a story about fairy tales, our fear of the dark, and losing yourself within the wilderness of your mind. Sounds pretty intense. So let's see. And then I'm also reading Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. Supreme title. Wow, can't get enough of that. Also, the cover is just beautiful. It's very striking. And like I said, I think this was originally Polish and it was translated. So this is about Janina, who lives in a little Polish village, and her neighbor called Bigfoot, is what the description says, goes missing or is murdered, something like that. And people start suspecting her because she's kind of like a loner, Boo Radley kind of character. And so she takes it upon herself to investigate this murder. Obviously, they sound similar because they're suspense novels, thriller. I really don't know the difference because I don't read too much of either genre. So I'd be interested in knowing your thoughts on that below. But also why I feel like these two were perfect in a vlog was because the little blurb at the end here says that this book is a provocative exploration of the murky borderland between sanity and madness, justice and tradition, autonomy and fate. Whom do we deem sane? Who is worthy of a voice? So I thought there were some really good parallels on madness and darkness. I don't know. I'm pretty interested in both of these books. So you will be seeing, this is my first time vlogging, obviously, and you'll be seeing probably either in the beginning, the 20% mark, a 50% mark check-in, and maybe 75-80% check mark in. Wish me luck on my first reading vlog. I'm not sure that I like this as opposed to sit down and talking videos, but we shall see through experimentation. Let's go. Okay, so I'm an hour and a half into the story. I'm listening to the audiobook and it sounds like we're gonna get a few different narrators, which is sometimes fun and sometimes overwhelming, so we'll see. The main guy, Trevor, I forget his name. Oh gosh, what is that? Oh, we just moved here and it looks like someone put some, what are those strip things that you stick onto the wall and then they just didn't remove it and painted right over it. Lovely. So anyway, so I'm liking the story so far. It does have kind of a creepy mystery vibe to it. And Trevor, don't actually know if that's his name, but whatever. He has this gift where whenever he touches something, he can like tell more about it. And like he knows the story behind it. He can see things happening to the person who touched it. If you've watched that show, The Haunting of Hill House, I think it's a book by Shirley Jackson as well. The sister has that gift when she takes off her gloves and she touches something. And I feel like, isn't that kind of like stealing? I don't know. Is that plagiarism? I don't know. But I am glad that it is in the book because I'm much more interested in the mystery now, or much more interested in, you know, the solving of the mystery now. The only thing I don't like is the author skipping around in time. It just doesn't make much sense for what she's revealing. It's not even like a reveal. Like I understand when people skip around in time when like they're like, oh, this important clue I don't know. There's like no point to what's going on. So for example, we start the story with Trevor looking for Maggie, the author, in a gas station. And then it flashes back to when he was asked to look for Maggie. And then it flashes forward to when he's hunting her down. He's kind of sniffing her out. And then it flashes back to when he met with her parents. It flashes forward again. And then it flashes back and gives us some backstory about his sister and flashes forward. And it's just a little too much back and forth so early on. And I feel like it's probably going to continue. So I wonder why the author made that choice. I wonder if it's like supposed to make you feel uneasy or not trusting of the narrator. We shall see. His name is Travis, not Trevor. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so I'm about halfway through and I'm very much enjoying it. I feel like I can kind of tell what's going on. So I'm at the point now where really tossed between, God, don't even make me remember their names. Theo, B, and then I can't remember the sister's name. I feel like it starts with a C or a K. Kala. Anyway, so I'm enjoying staying with the three of them and not being bounced around anymore. I'm at the point where Kala, or whatever her name is, I'm so sorry, finds the foxhole book in the garden. And yeah, I'm excited. Obviously Leo, not Theo. I swear to God, there's like, why did the author have to make a name so similar between two people? I don't know, Leo and Theo. Leo is obviously a big old douche and he is running the show. It seems like this rotting or the rot didn't even come to this town until he was like in charge of things. So he's obviously manipulating everyone so that they stay and don't question his leadership. So he's obviously the bad guy. I do like that B also has a sort of magic to her. And you know what? The sister too, Clara or what did I even just say that her name was? Can't remember. The other sister seems to have a really close relationship with the earth and with like ingredients. She's very much like a witch, really, and so is B, which is an aspect of the story that I'm really enjoying. So it's kind of seeming like Leo, the bad guy, killed Maggie and killed Travis, not Trevor. I called him Jeremy and Jared also when I was talking to my husband earlier. Yeah, so it looks like Leo killed them, buried them, tried to hide any evidence, although why wouldn't he burn that book? I feel like Theo is gonna figure everything out. I feel like actually those three, the sisters and Theo, I'm not flicking you off, I promise. I feel like they're gonna figure it out separately, in the kind of trope where they don't communicate, and if they did, they could come to the conclusion way faster. So that's my prediction, but I feel like I hope something else is revealed. I hope there's a bigger twist. I think I would still enjoy the story if I literally just predicted it like that. I've been, yeah, really enjoying it. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to add. All I know is that Leo is a little bitch and I hate him for hurting B like that. Ooh. Also, it's like, I'm sorry, did you not know how babies are made? Like, babies are born there. You obviously know how they're made, yet you're so shocked that your lover is pregnant. It's like, if you didn't want her to have a baby, I'm sorry, what did you think was gonna happen? Oh, and I feel like it's also hinting that the person who, I forget his name, Clyde or something, that brought everyone out to this cult, probably read Maggie's book and copied everything word for word. That's my prediction. I feel like all of this seems too easy to predict, so I don't think that's actually what's gonna happen, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm still very much enjoying it. I have a few things to apologize for. First, sorry for the laundry noise in the last clip. I didn't even realize until I went back and edited it. But also, I don't know what my problem is with this book and getting names right, but Leo, I kept referring to him as Leo. His name is Levi. I need help. is it just me, or is it kind of suspicious how fast Kala and Theo are finding these items? Like, I feel like it's not really... My husband's laughing at me, I'm sorry. I feel like it's not really believable. Or is that supposed to be a part of it? Like, is Travis somehow Theo, and is Maggie somehow Kala? And don't ask me if that name is correct, because at this point, her name could be frickin' Cleopatra. I don't know. I'm at the 75% mark, and I love to be able to say that I was right. I'm not going to do any more spoilers because I'm going to try to make this as spoiler free as possible. I do have to say their little tests to see if this disease gets out, where they have to tie the man's arms behind him or like up and then stick him in like the dirt. That is awful. That was like, bro. Okay, so the twist has been revealed. I'm wondering if there's another twist, because something's just not as like, they're losing my interest. I don't know if they're just like really milking this twist out. Maybe it's because I suspected it already. I don't really know. I just feel like there's something missing. So I'm hoping that all will be revealed. But the three people, Kala, Theo, and B, I believe they're talking now about leaving. So I feel like there's got to be some sort of shoot down between them and Levi. I'm getting a little bit of Midsummer vibes in here, but it's not like as violent or as effed up as Midsummer. So it's like you either need to go all the way or you need to tell a different story, in my opinion. So we'll see if it gets a little crazier. So the leader of a cult is bad. I'm sorry, is that supposed to be a shock? I'm like super disappointed right now, but then I'm like, okay, when is this done? I still have an hour left of this. There better be some like, even if there was like a crazy cool twist, the last 2 hours of reading have felt like a complete waste because the story was so slow and unoriginal. Maybe unoriginal is too rude. It's too basic. It's like you knew, spoiler alert, although it's really not, that Levi is a bad guy in the beginning just because he's a dick and he's the leader of a cult. Like, of course he's bad. I'm so disappointed. I don't know if I'm just PMSing. No, I am PMSing, but I don't know if it's... This story personally offended me. No, this story made me so angry. I feel like I read so many books where I'm like, this wasn't that great. Oh, this is kind of cheesy. Oh, this had bad writing. And I'm not like up in arms, but I am up in arms. The last half of the book was a waste of time. Damn, I am heated right now. I feel like maybe I should collect my thoughts tomorrow, but I said what I said. This had a really good build-up. It had really good, maybe not suspense, but it had that like kind of spooky mystery. It had great mystery vibes. And then don't even read the last half. Like, what? In my non-professional opinion, this book was disappointing, and it was not as good as the beautiful cover in which it is encased. Wow. I think I'm gonna give this, obviously Goodreads doesn't have half ratings, but I'm gonna give this a 2.5 out of 5 because the mystery vibes in the beginning were good. I loved the sort of magic and witchiness of the powers of the characters. Surprisingly, I liked the character back and forth. But yeah, I feel like the story itself, the suspense of it, the entire second half just was so slow and was not exciting. And it wasn't even moody. You know what I mean? It was just, it felt cheap. Yeah, no, not a fan. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are pink with like anger and pimples, obviously. But I'm going to start Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. and I'm hoping that it's a little better. But maybe I just don't like the genre. I don't know. We'll see. I ate some food and I calmed down, and I am now 15% into Drive Your Plow into the Bones of the Dead. Still can't get over that title. It's pretty. I like the tone of it. It seems very different, and I wonder how much of that is because it is originally in a different language, and I've never read anything by a Polish author, I don't believe. So yeah, this is about a woman named Janina, and she has neighbors named Bigfoot and Oddball. And I thought for a second, like, oh wait, is this a Polish thing? But no, Janina has this hatred towards given names, and she thinks that people should call people by their first instinctual, I don't know, feeling towards them. Which is cute. And she reminds me a little bit of Eleanor Ophelia is Completely Fine. What was that one book? Yeah, anyway, so she's a very kind of quirky character. I kind of hate when people describe characters like that, but that's really all I have to say about her. But I like her. She's strange, and it's so funny because the language in the book is kind of quirky also. It's very almost scientific. It's almost detached, but in a way that's almost humorous. And I kind of like that. So what's happened is that Janina is woken up by her neighbor Oddball saying that their neighbor Bigfoot is dead. And they go to his apartment or his house or whatever, and his dead body is laying there. And Oddball is suggesting that they like clean him up because he's like in his underwear, and he's like, no one should be seen like that. Like, honestly, anyone who's watched any true crime or has watched Law and Order like once knows you're not supposed to touch a body. Like, you wait till the police get there. Like, what are you doing? And so they position the body, they take a bone out of his throat, and she also sees like a deer head, because I guess he was a poacher and he like cut up animals. I don't know if it was for sport or just for food, I don't really know. But I feel like it is interesting. She made it a point to notice that he must have died choking on the bone is what their thoughts are. And he was staring at the head of the deer, the doe. And she was staring at him as she eventually killed him with her bone. So there's obviously gender roles playing here, also with like the police officers and the neighbors who expect her to sing because she's a girl. Yeah, so it's almost comical in the sense that she is bringing up social commentary. And yeah, she seems like a really strong character, someone who has her own idea of things, but also is kind of lonely and is definitely in solitude. We know nothing about her family or any actual friends that she has. But anyway, so they move the body, they dress the body, and then Oddball goes to try to call the police because they live in some super freezing sounding village, and you have to go like walk up a mountain to call the police. She goes and looks for his papers, and I didn't understand why, but apparently she looks up like horoscopes, so she wanted to know when he was born. And she found these photographs, and I guess she was horrified by them. She didn't go into detail about what they were, so she put them in her pocket. Also, I mean, girl, are you trying to get accused of murder? You disrupted a crime scene. You took personal items, and she also took the deer head and she put it in a bag, and I forget where she put it, but yeah. And they waited till the last minute to call the police. So yeah, I'm betting things are gonna not look good for now. And she also went into a story about how she wasn't on good terms with the police in general because she had complained about Bigfoot and that he left his dog in the shed like all day, and that he poached animals, and the police officer was just a dick. So yeah, I'm liking this, although it is kind of more serious than the last book I just read because there's an actual dead body. It's also almost more chill because it's like, it almost feels like homey, like a small town Gilmore Girls kind of feel. But I'm sure that's gonna change. It's gonna probably get a little stressful for Janina here. So yeah, I'll probably update you at the 50% mark, probably tomorrow. And I hope
this goes smooth as it is now.
I'm only like at the 25% mark, but I want to say since my last check-in, it's been really slow, and it's really only been Yanina talking about her world, the landscape of her world, and also her day-to-day life. Pretty much the only thing she does is astrology. Now, she has mentioned, I don't know if it's Dizzy or Izzy. I believe it's a man, as she's mentioned him a few times, but we haven't seen that person at all. But she's described him as her friend, and I think it's the only friend that she's described. But something I forgot to mention in my last update is that it seems to be she's talking from the future. Like, and I should have known that I should have left that there, like kind of like that, like she knows what's going to be happening in this story. And then she just said, because she's obsessed with documenting people's lives or their births and their deaths for their horoscopes, and she says she already knows how she's going to die. So I'm wondering if that's her talking about her horoscope, because she did say she's really a bad astrologer, or if it's her talking from the future and she's dead. I'm now a little over 50%, and there's another dead body. It's the commandant. I think that's some sort of police officer. Yanina thinks that it's the animals taking revenge over the people that have, I guess, just douchebags, but people who have hurt animals. Because all the cops were like hunting earlier in the book. So that would be really cool. Or this is just a weird random thought I had. What if she is somehow doing these murders because she feels very strongly about animal rights and protecting animals? What if she's somehow murdering these people who she knows hurts animals? Because, I mean, she's been a variable in both of the people's lives and has known that they were unjust. And it's so funny because whenever she's talking around dogs and she'll start talking about animal rights, she says that they look at her and they can tell what she's saying. I love Yanina. And if she's murdering these people, I'm actually not too upset. I feel like they've been kind of assholes. So the only other reason I think that might be the case is because her doctor gave her anesthetics. I'm guessing it's like sleep medication or something for pain. And it's not the first time that anesthetics has come up. It's also when the dentist, also who does their dentistry out like in the middle of a pasture? That sounds scarier than people getting murdered. I'm sorry. So yeah, it is really slow. She's talking a lot about astrology, and I feel like this would be a fun book test to listen to in the background because it's more like a character study of Yanina. She also has another friend named Good News. So that's good news that she has more than one friend. We can see that she's a really warm person who, like, if you're a good person, she'll do a lot for you. Yeah, this isn't very thrilling at all. Like, it's very slow, but I kind of like that. But if you're more of a thriller fan, this might not be the book for you. I forgot to say that Yanina had referenced her girls a couple times. And at first I was like, oh, does she have children? But it seems to be that she had 2 dogs that she obviously no longer has. And anytime they come up, she either has a physical reaction, like she has to throw up or something, or she changes the subject immediately so that no one even says it. So I feel like someone did something to her dogs. She found them, and that's maybe why she's murdering these people. Again, that's just my theory. I'm at the 75% mark. Someone else is dead. Not much more has happened, but again, this is not as like plot driven. It's more character driven, and like I feel like this is really more of a literary fiction book than a thriller or mystery. But there is mystery in it, so we shall see. I'm gonna update you when I finish, and I am excited. I'm gonna do no spoilers. Literally, as I started reading again, or listening, I'm listening to the audiobook, one other person ended up dead. So now all 4 people have been known animal hunters or animal abusers. So yeah, if it really is animals, I'm gonna be so excited. Okay, I finished the book. Yeah, I mean, maybe I just don't like thrillers or mysteries because I'm so damn smart. Just kidding. At least one of my predictions came true. Trying not to spoil, but I feel like I'm not good at not spoiling at this point in my booktube career. I liked the vibes of this until the end, and that's what I think I don't like about thrillers is that there has to be a twist. So it's like I would rather stay stagnant in this kind of literary world character building than have to deal with the force of like a climax and endpoint. It just seems, which is funny because I'm a fan of romance and that's literally all that romance is, but at least you get those like fun gurgly feelings in your stomach because you're excited for these characters. And I did like Nina, although at the end I don't know if I feel like she'd be the kind of person to confess in that long. I just spoiled it. But that huge speech and explanation of every single thing she did, I feel like whenever that happens in a story, I'm just like, no one's gonna interrupt you. I don't know, it just didn't seem as beautifully written as the rest of the book. So, in conclusion, both these books, I know I was really mad at A History of Wild Places yesterday, but I have come to appreciate the beginning of that book and different parts of that book. I think I'm gonna give Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead a 3-star as well, although it's more like 3.5. If you're looking for something moody and like a little bit more like trendy, I'd go for A History of Wild Places because it's more of a thriller. But if you're looking for something with a little more substance and to get to know some quirky characters, I would go for Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. I don't think I would listen to these again. Maybe I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't listen to these again. So I don't consider this a fail, but also I feel like book covers can be deceiving. You know what's funny though? I feel like I found even more parallels between the two books because there was a lot of obviously references towards animals, and that was part of Maggie's book in A History of Wild Places. She talked about, a woman becoming animal, you know what I mean? And so I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm done with my first reading vlog. I'm very proud that I finished these in like 2 days and that I have a semblance of a vlog to upload. I hope this was either entertaining or I don't know. I hope this was entertaining. I guess that's the point. Let me know if you've read these and what your thoughts are. I would love to hear your opinions. Yeah, I feel like over time, sometimes my opinions of books get better, which is a strange concept because I feel like for some people it's the opposite. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off now and I will see you guys in the next video.